Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to another video. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here or this is your first time coming across this video, my name is Mufaro and we are the Make Your Monday family. We are movers, we are shakers, we are all about getting our lives together by having one constructive conversation at a time on a Monday. Because we believe that Mondays set the tone for our week and our week will set the tone for the month, and the month becomes years and the years ultimately make our lives. And so we make sure that we are having constructive conversations which result in us being the best version of ourselves. So if you're looking for people who want to get their life together, if you're looking for people to engage with, if you're looking to be part of a community of people who really want to become the best version of themselves, then this is definitely the family that you want to be part of. So hit that subscribe button. We talk about business, we talk about faith, we talk about life and everything that is in between. And to my returning, my original Monday makers, my movers and my shakers, thank you so much for clicking on another video. Thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for the engagement. Thank you for the support. It means so much to me. Now, like I said, if you're new, we do have a page on Instagram and you can follow us there. It's linked in the description box, but it's at make_your_Monday. And again, you can follow me on Facebook, on TikTok and Instagram. It's all linked below so that I'm not eating up too much of our time. So we are in the third part of our business series. So in the first two videos I've spoken, we're actually talking about how to start a business or how to start your side hustle. So the reason why I'm sharing these things is because I wish someone had told me when I was starting business. And the thing is that there tends to be an extreme. People are on either extreme, that people are just like, people sugarcoat and they're like, there's so much money to be made out there, get it moving, start now, start today. And they neglect that there is a process that is before that, so that when you're getting in, you actually know what you're getting yourself into. You've prepared yourself. You don't fully know what to expect, but at least you're going in with a rough idea. And then there's also the other extreme where people are just like, oh my gosh, like business is so hard. Don't get into it if you don't want to get your heart broken. And while that part of that is true, but I feel like there's also so much joy in the journey. And so I thought, let me do this video. Let me share with someone who's looking to start their business, someone who's looking to start their side hustle, and just to give you a realistic picture of the things you can expect, the things that are going to come your way, so that when it happens, you remember that Mufaro spoke about this. Yeah, Mufaro spoke about this. So I'm going to be speaking about the skills that you're going to need to acquire in being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, in your side hustle. I believe these are principles that apply across the board. And so the first thing is that you are going to have to learn to sell. You have to master the ability of selling. And initially when you start, it's not that easy, especially if you're not a natural person who can sell by nature. You have to learn. Like when I think of myself, I couldn't sell, but I remember going my first time, like I shared with you in the previous video, that my very first customers were car washes. And if you know anything about Zimbabwean car washes, yeah, it's a lot. But I would go and I would say to them, hey guys, I have my product. This is what I do. This is what I have. Can you give me a try? And the nice things were, they were so nice actually. And they gave me so much support, so much encouragement. So you need to sell. And the thing is that the reason why I'm saying you need to master this ability is that you continue to sell throughout your business. Every single time, every single day, you are selling. If you want to make a profitable business, you have to master the art of selling. You have to keep at it. All these big businesses that you see, they've all had to master the art of selling. You have to convince the customer that I have this thing and it is worth buying. So another thing is that you have to, the only places, and this is for ladies, right? I know we have a tendency to say like, I don't want to shoot my shot. Sweetie, the only place where you shouldn't shoot your shot is in the dating scene. Otherwise, in business, shoot your shot. shoot it. Because you know what, and you just have to get comfortable with hearing no. That's the worst thing you can hear, is no. Okay, you move on. Go to your next person in the target market. Reason being that you cannot make the assumption that your target market knows you, especially if you're just starting out. You've not acquired a household name. Why are you assuming that we know you? You have to work at it. Get people knowing. Even when you look at big shops or these big names, even if they're going to a new location, you find they pass out flyers. There are all these ads. They're saying, hey, we're in your neighborhood. Hey, we are around. Why? Because they are attracting, they're letting their target market, their target audience know that, hey, we are around and hey, we are still selling, right? And so the second point is that, which comes from that, is that also you have to get comfortable with failing. Buckle up, baby, because you are going to fail and fail and fail, but you have to get comfortable with it, and you need to learn to pick yourself up from it. Initially, it's going to suck, I won't lie. It's going to hurt, it's going to be disappointing, because you're going to feel like my precious little baby and people must just accept it, but that's not going to happen. And you have to destigmatize failure. Unlearn that definition of failure and realize that what failure is that failure is simply telling you that the way you've chosen to do this thing is not it. Go and find a better way. Go and find a better way. Again, from my own experience, if I tell you the formula that I have now for my business, it took me 10 batches to figure it out. There were times where I made it and it would turn a completely different color. I remember this one time I had orders the following morning and I had made about like 40 liters. One was supposed to be green, one was supposed to be blue. We woke up in the morning, one was Spider-Man red and one was Sister Spirit purple. So you can imagine. But I had to wake up and do it again. I kept trying, I kept going to my customers. And fortunate enough, I had customers who I could have an open dialogue with, and I told them, be honest with me. Is this thing working? Is it not? And they were honest with me and they kept telling me, tweak it here. It's not yet quite here. And I kept at it. If you read the story of Thomas Hardy, the man who made the light bulb, it took him 99 tries until he got it on the 100th time. If you read the story of the Wright brothers, they didn't get it from the onset. All these household names that you love, if you do your research, you actually find out that it's not as easy as you think. For them to be where they are today, they got comfortable with failing. And after failing, they decided, I'm going to pick myself up and I'm going to try again. Right? And then the third point, which feeds from getting comfortable with failing, is I think it's so important for a business owner, an entrepreneur, learn to separate yourself from the product or service. Now, what I mean is that I'm not saying don't care about what you're delivering. No, you should care very, very much. But what I mean is, if you learn to separate yourself from the product or service, remember it's going to take time for your product to align. Because you have a way that you've envisioned your product and how it's solving the problem, right? But remember, you're not the recipient of your product. You're not the recipient of the solution. Your recipient is the one who's going to give you feedback and let you know, hey, it's working, hey, it's not working. But if you get so caught up in that and you fail to separate yourself from that, it feels like it's an attack on you, and yet it's not. It's actually criticism and constructive feedback that is supposed to make you improve the product or the delivery of your service. So if we get too feely touchy about our product or our service, it blocks our ears off from hearing the cries of our market, from hearing the cries of our intended audience, who are letting us know that this thing is getting the job done or it is not. Again, like I was saying, my customers, I told them from the onset, be honest with me. Tell me if it's working, tell me if it's not. And they would tell me, oh, it's ticking this box, but it's not ticking this one. I think you need to improve on this. And we kept the dialogue open, and that's still how it is. And that's why I've managed to get to where I am, is because I continued to listen to them. I separated myself from the product or service, and I took it to say that whatever they were telling me, it's not an attack on me. Neither is it an attack on the product or the service. It is positive, constructive feedback to let me know I can incorporate it so that I am getting better. Right? And another thing, again, on that point is that remember that when you made this product or service, it wasn't for you. Because if you made it for you, you wouldn't be selling it to us. So it's important that you are listening to the us, you are listening to your customers, you are actually paying attention to the things that they're actually telling you. And the last and final point would be, I would say, pick progress over perfection. And this ties into our previous point about learning to separate yourself from the product. It's so important that you realize that when you start, it's probably not going to be a hit. I'll tell you now, it's probably not going to play out the way you thought it would. The market may not even receive it the way you thought they were going to receive it, even if it's a great idea. And if you pick progress over perfection, then it makes it easier for you to take into account the previous points. It makes it easier for you that when you fail, you are able to pick yourself up, because you're saying, I prefer progress over perfection. I prefer to keep at it than to just fail once and then I sit and sulk and I say, I'm done. No. Continue to pick progress over perfection. You pick one thing at a time, you work on it until you get it right, and then you move on to the next thing. That is how all these brands that you see have gotten to where they are, is because they have continued to pick progress over perfection. Yes, it may not look like what I initially thought. Yes, it might not even be playing out the way that I wanted it to, but I can keep at it. I can keep at it until I actually get the results that I want. So, I hope you found this helpful. You can let me know which of the nuggets you actually maybe had heard of before or you hadn't. And if you have something else to contribute, do put it in the comment section, because you don't know who it helps. You don't know what people are going through, and they just need that encouragement to let them know that it's going to be okay. I think that's the last thing I can tell you, is that it's going to be okay. It really is. You eventually get the hang of it, and we'll talk a bit more about that in our next video. Otherwise, from me to you, see you in our next video.